Hey everyone, Kathy back. Big Barn Blooms with Alive. It is time to do a couple more kits. You guys, look what we got today. This is one of them. We're going to do a couple today. So let me get you guys up here on my iPad and then we'll get going. Let's see. Also going to shut my door because I think I can hear Bob. Here we go. Here we go. So when you guys come on, say hi. Let me know you can hear and see me. I'm going to adjust that camera a little bit. Hold on just a moment. All right. Here we go. Let me turn this just a little bit. Okay. There we go, that looks better. How is everyone today? Happy Thursday. One more day, we're almost there. Hang in there, you guys. Janet, hi, how are you today? And all is good. Thank you so much for that. I've so many times I've gone so far into designing and they're like, oh, we can't see you or we can't hear you. So, awesome, Donna, yay! Donna's here, awesome. All right, guys. We're going to do a couple today, and I'm actually going to do another one tomorrow. I'm trying to catch up. Kits went out, and you guys needed tutorials. Tina, hello. Good to see you on. Welcome in. So, one of these, there's one left. I don't have the prototype because it actually shipped out today. This is just getting ready to launch. Do you see how yummy this guy is? I am obsessed. I hate that. Everybody says I'm obsessed, but I really am. So Bob creates these bunnies, and then I paint them and antique them. But this is his 3D printed Thinker Bunny. Look at that guy. So cute. So this is going in this one. So we're going to do this kit today. This will launch when I get off of here. I'm going to list it in my Etsy. Very limited quantities in this color. I may have another bucket color coming out, but this is that really pretty kind of like a soft, it's kind of like a robin egg green, and then I have one that's a little bit more blue, like a robin egg blue. This is like an enamel finish on this metal bucket, so it's got that sheen. The next bucket I have will be more matte colored. So, and I think there's only going to be 4 of these available, but there'll be 2 designs ready-made if you don't want to create one yourself. Then we're going to create this one. Oh, I got to go get my bunny. It's sitting right over there. So this one is going to have a chocolate bunny. So we're going to make this one today. This one I have one left, one kit left. Hold on, let me go grab my bunny. Bob's like, we were packing them all out and everything, and so he bubble wrapped my bunny. I'm like, we don't need to do that. I'm going to be building it online. Or yeah, so let me cut this out of the here. But how are you guys? How have you guys been? It's been a hot minute. We've been busy inside the barn doing all kinds of spring stuff, so I'm like, I gotta get back on my public channel. So what better way than with kits? I love the kits. So if you're new to floral design, these kits are perfect. They are beginner friendly and you get everything you need. We're gonna go over the ingredients. The only thing you don't get are tools. So you don't get tools, you don't get a stemming machine. I wish I could give everyone a stemming machine. Wouldn't that be awesome? So if you don't have a stemming machine, let me talk about that first. Let's push the bunny out of the way. This is my stemming machine, so you'll hear me using this. It's a little off camera, but this puts a metal spike on the end of the stems, makes it easy to go into the foam, but they can't back out. If you don't have one of these, don't worry. You can buy the wooden picks. They sell these online on Amazon. In fact, I believe I have some in my Amazon storefront that I can put the link in when we're done. I think Hobby Lobby sells them, Michael sells them. They are a green wooden little pick with a copper wire. This works just as good as this. But if you have this, use this. So it's just easier. You don't have to wind the wire around it. But I'll demonstrate how to use these so that you're not like, okay, I got them, now what do I do with them, right? So we'll show you how to use these today, in case you don't know. All right, you're gonna get the mechanics to make your bow. So you'll get your ribbon, you'll get some wrapped wire and a zip tie. And then again, you'll need either a pick. Sometimes once you wrap it, it can go right into the foam, but I would probably still put it on one of these if you don't have a stemming machine. Okay, so let's see. So this one I don't have the example, of course, because it's sold, but it's going to have this bunny and a bunch of flowers. You've probably seen me post some pictures of it. They've been selling like hotcakes. One left, so if you want one, go grab it. It's going to be gone. Okay, then let's see. Who else is on? Juanita. Hey, Juanita, how are you? Deb, hello. Oh, Juanita, you got one. Did you get it on the clearance? Because they are clearancing them out at Hobby Lobby at $142 or something. And they're normally like $285 or $289, somewhere in that range. Crazy. They're like half off, seriously. Garden Charm Boutique, how are you? Welcome in. Thanks for coming and watching. Whoops, we'll lose you guys. Okay, so we have the two. This is your first vote. You guys know I like to give you guys options. There's not a lot of design options today, but we'll talk about why we chose what we chose. So your first vote, would you like me to start with this tutorial or this tutorial? So we have Chocolate Bunny or Gold Bunny. Vote now, and I'll start with whichever one you guys choose. Whichever gets the most votes. And coming up, this kit is, there's a few of these left too. This one we will be doing tomorrow. So this is one of the smaller kits. Some people don't always like to start big, so we have small options available, and these are under $70. I can't remember what they are off the top of my head, but I don't know, maybe 65 or something, but you get everything for this tutorial. So we're going to do this one live tomorrow. So I'll set that one up there. Kids have been going crazy. Hey Linda, how are you? Welcome in. Okay, so which one would you guys like? Gold Bunny or Chocolate Bunny? We're going to do them both today, but you can choose which one we start. Juanita's like, Gold Bunny, give us the Gold Bunny. Okay, 2 more votes, and then I'll get started. It's a good one. Okay. Deb's like gold. So we got 2 golds. You guys are liking this guy. This is my favorite one. Although I love this one. It's smaller. But I love this thinker bunny. He's so cute. Donna's like gold. Gold bunny. Okay. All right, that's 3. Let's go with the gold then. Hey, Yoli. How are you? I talked to your son last night. Yoli's a friend of mine. I hope you're feeling better. I heard you had surgery and it's going well so far. But we miss you so much, Yoli. So glad to see you on. Maybe I can entertain you a little bit. I'd hand you a margarita, but I can't online. Okay, but your son made the best margaritas. I'm just kidding. All right, we're gonna put the brown bunny aside, our chocolate bunny. Let me rearrange here a little bit, and we'll get going on this guy. Okay, so this is what we're making. It goes all the way around. This is a very nice kit. This is luxury ribbon. This ribbon you're going to get in this is by D. Stevens. It is a double-sided ribbon, very thick wire. Look at that, beautiful ribbon. So you're going to get a piece of ribbon to make this little tulip bow. The design, like I said, goes all the way around, and with the bunny sitting in the middle. So let's get started on this. Let me bring over some supplies. We'll talk about those, what's going to be in your kit. I'll set this little guy over here so I can remember what I did. You guys will laugh. So that bunny, the chocolate bunny that I don't have the example to show you because it's sold, that one, I'm like, oh my gosh, what did that look like? So I'm scrolling through my phone and I go, Bob, just print a picture of it. So I actually have a picture of it hanging on my tripod so I can remember what I did. I'm like, I don't remember that design. It's been a little bit. Okay, so for this guy, starting out, you're going to get the bucket, this metal bucket. There is a seam. I want you to pay attention. There's a seam on this. Make sure you put your seam to the back. You're going to get a piece of foam, and I'm going to show you how to cut it down and wedge it into the bucket. So we'll put that over here. Then you're going to get your piece of ribbon to make the little bow. You're going to get, of course, the star of the show, the gold bunny. Whoop, whoop. He's so cute. Love this guy. And then you're going to get, with the bow, like I said, you're going to get the mechanics. So you'll get You'll get wrapped wire and a zip tie, which is what you need to put it into the arrangement. And then let's talk about our ingredients. Let me organize it here. So, you're gonna get this whole pile. So I gotta figure out how I'm gonna fit it all in a box, because I know it's not gonna go in my normal box size. This is gonna have to be a bigger box, but we'll get it all in there. So, bead grass. You're gonna get 4 stems of bead grass. So this is our background green. You're gonna get 1 bush of all these beautiful pink tone wildflowers. We're gonna cut this apart to put in. This is my favorite bush as far as wildflowers for spring. It's really good, super full. You're gonna get 1 of these. You're gonna get 4 of these beautiful Real Touch tulips. Look at those. So good, they're so pretty. 4 of those. You're gonna get 4 stems of these dried look roses with the buds. Some have buds, some don't. So you'll get 2 of each kind, I believe. Right like that. You're gonna get this willow wild flower little pick, and we're gonna cut this apart. How cute is this little pick? You're gonna get 1 of those, and you're gonna get 1 poppy spray. Look at the yellow centers, so pretty. And all of this makes up that design. Okay, so we're gonna put these aside. We don't need these quite yet. So let's bring our bucket over and let's get started on this foam. So you're gonna get a square piece of foam like this. I'm not gonna install it because to fit everything in the box without it being a 20 by 30 box, we have to put a lot of the ingredients in the bucket. So you get to install your own foam. Super simple. So I've cut your foam just about to fit. Now, don't mind this one. It has some foam in the bottom, because first I thought I'll just spray foam and layer it up, and I went, Sometimes it's nice to learn how to do this and bring it flat on the top. So because this is my example, we're gonna use this one. So you're gonna take your foam, it's already pretty good to the size, except the corners hang over, right? So what you're gonna do is take this and get a serrated knife. This is like a sheetrock knife. You can use a serrated bread knife. You know, you get the gist. Whatever you cut your styrofoam with. Or they have those heat knives that you can get at the hardware store. They're a little pricey, but they're awesome because they use heat to cut through it and they don't make a mess. There's no crumbs on your table. I have one over here. It's not on. I mean, they heat it instantly, but I don't want to mess with it because you have to make sure that you have a place for it so it doesn't burn your house down. And it doesn't burn everything around it. And I have a lot of stuff piled over here right now, so I'm not messing with my heat one. So, because most of you have this, we're going to use this. And you're going to basically corner off all the corners. You're going to cut your corners off. And I cut at an angle. So I'm not going straight down. I'm cutting into it just a tad bit like this. Let me show you. And what this is going to do is let it wedge in this bucket. So as you can see, the corner's off, but what you don't see is that it's at a little bit of an angle, just slightly. So we're going to go around and cut all of them off like that. And if you end up with either, I know a lot of you already have the black and white kit that we're going to do next. If you get the bunny kit, this one, this video will be moved tonight to my YouTube channel. So it'll be available for 30 days on Facebook, but we'll also move it over there so that you can watch it over and over again. In fact, I had one of my customers contact me recently. They bought one of the bunny tray kits from last year. She goes, oh my gosh, I bought your kit and I never got to make it up. I was just way too busy. She goes, where do I watch the video? So I'm like, YouTube. So if you guys don't already subscribe, go over there, Big Barn Blooms. I have a YouTube channel. All of my kit videos are over there along with some other yummy stuff. So, okay, bring this back. Again, make sure your seam is in the back. Watch how easy this goes down in here now. Oh, I cut it too big. That's okay. We'll fix it. I could cut another one, but you know what I might just do, you guys? I cut mine a little too small. If you do this, here's your solution. You can always just cut another one or get one of these little pieces from Walmart. Why did I cut it too small? I thought I measured it good, but let's do this because this isn't going to come in your kit. Let's just cut another one. That's an oopsie. Yeah, it's real life, you guys. It happens. So let me show you what I use. Let me show you. I know I don't want to go this small. I thought we measured it good. So what I do is I put my bucket upside down on my foam, and I just kind of trace it. So I know I don't need all of that. So I just go around with scissors, needle nose, whatever. And I know I'm going to have to come in a little bit further than that. So let's just cut it again. That way I don't have to improvise and you guys, well, that's not what she did or what I got. So that's a little different. So we're just going to cut this off. And I'm really going to square it is what I'm going to do. Sorry about the noise. So even though I cut it round, I'm cutting it square. There's going to be some places that are a little bit off. And the little, grooves that I cut, you don't worry about that. You just cut it off square. Okay, come back here. There we go. Get rid of this. Throw that over there. All right, let's look at this again. Look at this again. We've got plenty of room. I'm going to be a little more conservative on my cut. So go a little less, and then trim if you have to get it in. See? Now I didn't do enough, so go a little more. But it's better to go a little less, little bits at a time, than to do what I did in the beginning. So, once you get that right size, once you get it down there and it actually clears the lip, then you just, because this is bigger at the top, smaller at the bottom, it'll wedge in really easily, like that one is. It won't come out. Okay, let's try this one now. Just about there. So we'll raise this. Yeah, I cut it really big this time. I'm like, huh. Okay, we're just about there. And I love making a mess on my table, so it's what we do. Now, if you wanted to use spray foam, because a lot of my containers, and if you've been buying my kits, I use a lot of spray foam. You can spray foam this. Let me give you some hints about it. Let's try this again. There we go. Right there. So barely fits, right? And that's what you want. See how it's sticking up? We're going to actually push it in a little more. Let me get rid of all this debris. So I'm going to go ahead and clean this off. If you do spray foam, here's my suggestion. And I teach a lot of this inside the barn. If you're not already inside the barn, that's my coaching group. You guys, come on in. The doors are wide open. We meet 3 times a week. But what I will tell you, if you go to do spray foam, let me take this back out, even though I wedged it a little bit. So I do several layers. If you want to do a big container like this, you need to do several layers. You can't spray it all at once and not expect to have your container deformed. It will find ways to expand and push out your bottom where it won't stand, solidly. It'll have a rounded bottom, all the things. So put a little layer in the bottom. Go maybe 4 inches thick. Don't let it touch the sides at all. Keep it in the middle bottom. It'll expand sideways and up. When it starts to cure, throw a skewer down through it. Give it more room to let out and expand. Let it dry overnight. Come in the next day. Do another 4 inches. Do the same thing and until you get it to the level you want toward the top. So you can do these with spray foam. The big containers, you've got to do them in layers or you're going to ruin your containers. Has anyone ever had that happen? I played with it for a long time before I figured out my formula, so I hope that helps. Rita's on, Kathy's on, hey. Oh good, Kathy, you did yours from my YouTube last week. Good deal. Gloria's on. Hey Gloria. Yeah, and everybody is thinking gold. I like that. I like that. Okay, guys. All right, so a little bit too big, but enough to clear that lip. And then we're going to push. You're going to hear it crunch a little bit because it's a little too big. It's okay. We're going to push. And we're going to keep pushing and keep pushing. And it's going to wedge in there. I'll never get this back out. And then I just go around the sides until it's level. All the way around. It's level with the lip. Right like that. So you can hear the crunching, but look at that. Level, and it's in there. We don't care about these little gaps. Seriously. You don't care what shape it is once you get in there. If you have, it comes in a little bit more, it doesn't matter. You still have plenty of room to do your design. Okay, let me sweep this off one more time, and we'll get going on this. Okay. All right. So, I've got my seam in the back. Make sure you get your seam in the back. Sometimes I get busy and I'm working quick and I'm like, oh. I stand back and look at it to take the picture at the end. I'm like, oh. There's my seam right in the front. Who's done it? Just got to slow down and make sure we're doing it right. Okay, so we're going to center this little guy, this little bunny. And I'm going to take my glue gun. And we're going to just, so you need a glue gun and glue. Glue sticks, glue gun, or a glue pot. Let me get some more glue. Figures, right, when I go to glue him up, my glue gun needs another stick. I use a glue gun. I have a glue pot sitting on the floor over here, but I've just never used it. I'm used to a glue gun, so I'm old school. Okay, so we did a lot of glue, as you can see. Don't be stingy with your glue. And then you're going to just center him on here as best you can. A little bit more toward the front than the back. And then just push. He glues on perfectly with hot glue. This is a 3D printed bunny, so it's kind of like a plastic. Doesn't look like it though. These antique so well. So anyway, if you want to know how I got this beautiful finish, join us inside the barn. But I do teach how I come up with these formulas for these bunnies. It's pretty cool. Okay, I'm going to turn it around this way. Maybe shove him forward just a little bit more. So he's going to dry now perfectly. Look at that. So cute. And we're going to put some faux moss on him. Let me drop that down, bring my little basket of moss. So you're going to receive moss and moss pins so that you can put some moss around him and cover up this foam. We don't want to see the foam. So let's go ahead and do that. This stretches. So when you get your little ball, you're going to go, uh-oh, that doesn't look like enough. Stretch it. Oh, Donna, in that kit that you just received, did you receive the gold bowl, the bigger gold bowl? Did you receive moss? Because I was going through and shipping kits today and I went, oh my gosh, did I forget the moss? And yours was the first one of that kit to ship out, and I'm like, I think I may have missed the moss on it. Did I? Tell me, where was my head that day? So, okay, so we're just going to go around. You put a little moss pin in, stretch it, bring it around. I kind of push it in a little bit. You're going to get all these stragglers. Don't worry about it. We give it a trim with scissors when we're done. But look at how little it takes to do this whole bucket all the way around the bunny because it stretches so well. So just stretch it, and it doesn't have to be perfectly covered because we have stems coming in. The very front will, because there's some section in the front that you see just the green moss, which is fine. But this moss is my fave. I have bags of reindeer moss, and I need to start using them, honestly. But I love this because it goes on easily. You know, you can stretch it, and it doesn't take that much to cover it. and it doesn't make a mess. If you used real moss at all, oh my God, the debris field, it's like cutting styrofoam. I can't stand it, can't stand it. So yeah, I've kind of made the switch. I don't know if I'll ever go back. I will, because I have to use up what I have, but this artificial moss is here to stay. All right, so we've just about covered this whole thing. Put one more in there. Look at that. So it covers it really well. And then we can do our first trim. See all the little pieces that are hanging down? And I mean, you can leave them or not. I like to kind of give them a little bit of a trim, take them out. So you'll need scissors, but you'll need them for the ribbon too, So you need wire cutters. These are your tools. You'll need wire cutters and scissors. If you don't have a stemming machine, you'll need those wooden picks. And you'll need glue, whether it's a glue gun or a glue pot. So that's what's not included in your kit. You will receive the moss pins, and the styrofoam. So you'll have to trim your styrofoam and put it in. Remember, little amounts to get where you need to be. So don't cut off a huge hunk and you may make it too small. So that was, actually I planned that, yeah. This is what you don't do. Don't do that. Okay, happens to all of us. All right, let's see. Carol from Carroll Creek Pendleton, you love the moss. Isn't it good? It's so good, so good, you guys. Okay, My Southern Door. Lots of people sell it. I sell it in my Amazon storefront. I did have some come in wholesale. It blew out the door already. I will have it back in my Etsy soon, but until then, I'm going to put my Amazon storefront link at the top of comments. Well, I hope it ends up in top. When I'm done, so you can just hit it and go on over there. I do get a tiny, let me stress, tiny commission from Amazon, but that is one place you can get it, and then you will eventually be able to get it back from me in different size bundles. So got it in, someone messaged me, went all the way back out. So it happens a lot. Yes, fabric moss. Hey Louise, how are you? So that is where you can get the moss. It comes in two colors. This is the lighter green. There's also a darker. I like the lighter, especially for spring. Now when I go into fall and Halloween, I'll probably get the darker green. So Deb, this moss is to die for. So nice. Okay, let's see. Yeah, Donna, isn't it easier to use? And check if I didn't put your moss in, I'll send you a little bundle of moss. It's just so awesome. Okay, so we're ready to design. Look how easy that was. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do, get rid of that piece of foam. We're gonna make our bow. So you'll get a piece of ribbon. This is the best. Dee Stevens is one of the high-end luxury ribbon. So if you've never worked with luxury ribbon, here's your chance to work with it without spending $40 on a roll of ribbon. I'm going to give you some. So we're going to make a very simple 2-loop bow. I mean, anybody can make this bow. So you're going to take your ribbon, and I go about on the thingy. Your tail's going to be about 8 inches. You grab the moss, okay, and you're going to pinch. You're going to kind of gather and pinch this together. It's very, very tough ribbon. It's not like working with the cheap stuff, you guys. So you got to kind of inch your fingers into the middle so you can pinch it. Then you're going to take your piece, because you'll get a piece, and you're going to pull this out and make your first bow loop like that, okay? And this bow loop is about, look, it's going to be about 12 inches. So from this pinch to here is 12. You're going to bring the wrong sides together like that, and then you're going to pinch it in again. And again, it's tough. You can do it. So now I'm just pinching these two pieces together, and there's my first loop, and then you twist it, because if I were to make another new loop now, look, it would have the wrong side up. So we have to twist this, and we have to bring the right side back up. There's our right side. We come back out, and we're going to bring the wrong sides back together to the middle again. There's our first tail. So what I do, I don't always take it down to my mat and measure. So once I get my first loop done, then what I do is I come with the 2 loops and I bring them up like bunny ears, and I'm like, are they the same level? Yeah, they are. So I'm good. I can pinch this in the middle, twist it right side up, and this is the rest of it's going to be my tail. I always give you a little more ribbon than you need, so if you want to make your loops a little bigger, if you want to make your tails a little longer, you can kind of put your spin on it. So there it is, all together, and one loop in mine always ends up longer than the other. You're going to take your zip tie, find the flat side of the nub. See, the flat side's up, the bulge is down, or the little nub is down. So I'm going to put this down, flat side down, over the top of the ribbon, bring the zip tie around the back, and zip tie it, but not all the way tight. Leave a little space, because we have to get that piece of wire through there. So we zip tie this, bring that little nubby to the back like this. Then I left some space in there, and this is easy to do. On good ribbon, you're not having it fall apart. Look at it, it's holding all the shape because it's really, really tough wire. So we're going to bring this underneath that zip tie like this, bring the nub all the way to the back, and zip it down. And I'm going to show you, that just fell out, put that back in there, stay. I use my needle nose because my hands are always sore because I do this all day long, but tighten it at that point. Once you get that piece of wire in there, tighten it down as tight as you can get it. It's also going to make your bow loop stand up more, all the things. Tight, tight, tight. And then cut that off. Cut off the excess. And this is what it should look like. Right like that. So you can see this piece of wire coming through the middle. Right like that. So then what you're going to do is you're going to bring this piece of wire, and you're going to twist it like a bread tie. As close down, your first twist needs to go as close to your ribbon as you can get it. Your ribbon will be tighter then when you put it in the arrangement. So I use my needle nose and I get that first twist super, super tight, and then I just twist it up. So here's what it looks like when you're done. Hopefully you can see that. Looks like that. Now this is pretty tough wire too. You could probably just add a little glue to that, push it right in. But if you have a stemming machine, use it, you guys. Put a pick on it. So I'm actually going to fold this up a little bit to make it thicker to hold the pick. Right like that. So use your tools. Put a little fold on it. Make it really flat like that. And then put your pick on it. Put your pick on it. Like that. So that's what a stemming machine does. See the spikes? And if you see that spike, you can see that it has the little jagged edges on the side. That's what keeps it from backing out of the foam. All right, so there is my bow, the loops, and the tails ready to go in, right? So your bow is going to go on the side of the bunny, and the tails are going to go toward the back, and it's going to go on an angle like this. So you're not going to go straight like this. We're going to come up like this. I want the tails kind of coming to the side and the back. And then I'm going to put my wire or my pick right in next to the bunny. So right next to his shoulder, straight on down in, like this, at an angle. And your tails just kind of hang down. So there's your bow. Look at that, so easy. Simple little bow right in the can. Okay, so next, you guys, oh good, you got the moss. I'm like, did I do it? I couldn't remember. Let's see. Karen, hey, how are you, Karen? You didn't know I did a live alert on this channel this morning. I didn't put it inside the barn though, I should have. It was a crazy morning. Crazy, crazy morning. But anyway, it'll be available for replay. And we just got started. I think you know how to do this part, Karen. No. Anyway, so, okay, so there's that. First thing we're going to use for our ingredients is your bead fern. These guys. So we're going to push this aside. Now, I love bead fern. If you've been doing wreaths and stuff for a while, you've probably used it. It's such a good filler. This is it cut right off the bush, but did you guys know it's a pusher? So you can push this on up, make it shorter and bushier, which is what we want to do, like that. So see, my little stem got longer compared to this. Do you see the difference? So now I can cut this a little shorter and put a pick on it. If you don't have a stemming machine, honestly, this is a very tough wire. You could add some glue and push it in. Before you do, you're going to put a little bend on it like this. See how I bent it down a little bit? I'm going to put my pick on. And let me do all 4 of these and then we'll put them in there. So I'm pushing them up, cutting it shorter, putting a pick on. Push them up. And you guys, if you have not gone to Hobby Lobby, if your Hobby Lobby has one of these machines, you need to grab it. It's a big investment, I know, even at $140, it'll change your floral design life, I'm telling you. Who can attest to that? Because I'm telling you, I couldn't live without it. I couldn't design without it. I depend on this machine every day of my life, I tell you. Oh, thanks, Louise. I appreciate that. I try. I do talk a lot. I will tell you that. I talk a lot. Okay, so we're going to put a little bend on these. See how it kind of goes? Because when we put them in here, we want them to flow. We want them to flow out and down. We don't want them sticking straight or up, okay? Put your little bend in. Be careful of the pick so you don't hurt yourself. Okay, we're going to put one directly to the right. These picks are going in right where the bunny hits the foam. So right up next to that bunny, that gives it a little bit more, because you're starting it back here, it makes it a little bit shorter. We don't want these coming out here. I especially don't. Bob will kill me, literally kill me, if I made it that wide and he had to find a box to ship it. We couldn't sell it. It'd be way too expensive. So, just saying. Okay, so there's one there. Then we're going to bring one a little further forward, push it in. Look at how pretty that just flows. It flows. We're going to do another one on this side by this guy. I'm going to come in right between the bow tails and have that flow down. We have to bend them around a little bit. Some of them are stick up. We have a lot of other elements coming in, so don't worry about if things stick up like this. You won't even see it when we're done. One more I'm going to put in the back, and this is going to go directly behind the bunny, straight on in. So the back isn't going to be as green as the front. We don't care. I mean, this is a one-sided arrangement, so you got to remember that. Lost a piece. I'm not going to worry about it. So the back looks like this right now, but as you can see, I mean, there's some areas like this, but we have all those other picks, especially this guy that's going to fill all that in. So we just want 2 in the front, 1 toward the side, because this side doesn't have the bow. So this needs 2 pieces, this needs 1 piece, and this needs 1 piece. And then it will look like this. Super simple. All right, let's see. Jordan, hey, welcome on, welcome on. Let's see. Jordan is asking everyone where they are from. So Jordan, if you're a scammer, you can go, because that's usually how it starts. If you're not, you're welcome to stay. But don't tell people where you're from, you guys. I'm just saying. I am from Big Barn Balloons. Okay, so here we go. So we're going to cut this guy down. I'm going to push that aside. And let's cut this apart. When you get your bush, your spring bush, it'll have 4 main pieces. Cut the 4 main pieces off, okay? It's going to unravel a little, don't worry about it. We're going to put that bundle down. We're going to make our own bundles. This is where you'll need those little picks if you don't have a stemming machine. Put that bundle down. And I'm cutting them pretty close to where the flowers start. Put that bundle down. And put that bundle down. Like that. that. So 4 big bundles, the big stem goes away. Okay, Brenda. Jordan, stop it. Stop. Or I'll have to block you right now. Okay. Brenda, so Hobby Lobby used to sell them. They don't. I have them in my Amazon storefront. I will tell you that. And it's a 2 1/8 inch pick that I use. So they do sell one. I don't know if they sell them like 1 1/2 or something. You guys get the larger picks. They even come up to like a 4 inch. 2 1/8 is perfect. And if you have shallow designs, you can cut the bottom of that pick on an angle and it'll still work. So I don't buy different size picks, but Amazon has them. I will put my storefront link in when we're done. Cool? Okay, let me see. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of Jordan. Hold on, everybody agree? Jordan is going nuts on here. He's been on a while, huh? Desiree, hi, welcome in. Charlie, hi, good to see you. Making dinner. Okay, hold on a second. See if I can do this. I may not be able to do it till I get off. I can't, so you guys ignore Jordan. It's not nice that they do that, but they do. Okay, let's make some smaller bundles, you guys. I'm gonna break some of these up, and you can break them up how you want. This is where you get to make it your own, right? But some of these, like I can cut off a little more. Picks like this. I just want a bunch of picks that I can broadcast around. So I start with these 2. There's 2 pieces of fern, and then you'll get some picks that are just a bunch like this. So what I do is I find one of these, the fern, one of these, make your own little bundle, okay? I want 2 with that piece of fern to frame. So we're gonna go ahead and put a pick on that. But let me show you how you put these picks on if you don't have that fancy machine. So I'm going to, again, use some of these odd pieces out that don't have a flower, right? And we're gonna put one of these in. So I bundled those with the piece of fern. And what I'm gonna do is cut off the bottom. The stemming machine will kind of crunch the bottom pieces of the fern up into the pick, but if you're wrapping it with a wooden pick, cut a few of the little leaves off the bottom so it's easier to wrap it. You're going to bundle those together like that. Take this with the copper wire. I don't know if you can see the copper wire on there. Oh, there on my hat you can see it. So you're going to take this, put the pick up almost to where the flowers start. See where I have it positioned? And hold it. Grab your copper wire and wrap all the way down. So you're going to start up high and wrap down toward the bottom of your bundle. Okay? When you get it wrapped, there it is on the pick. But there's a lot bundled in here, right? And we got it as tight as we could. I'm going to throw a little piece of glue on there. I think this is why I like my glue gun, because a glue pot, I'd have to dump the whole thing. I don't want to dump the whole thing. So I just go around here and add glue where the wire is. So I know it's not coming apart. We'll let this dry, but that's what it should look like. So you can use these. If you can't find a stemming machine on clearance, you don't have one, just go buy some wooden picks. It works just as well. Okay, so we'll let that dry right there, and let me finish bundling all of these. So this is a good little bundle. So I love to pull bushes apart and make my own little sprays. And especially if you're doing tiny designs, like that little tiny Bull Bunny one. Very important for that, because you don't need huge flowers in a small design. So you can do it. All right, and then we'll take these 2. Bundle these. So for one big spray that we took apart, let me get rid of my debris field here. For one big spray, we end up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 little sprays. Now we can take that big spray and we can distribute it where we want it. Okay, so the first two we're going to work with are going to be the ones with the fern on them, because they are actually the same. Oh sure, I'm gluing it to my table. So that's all glued up now. We will put these aside and bring this guy back. There we go, there's your bunny. Okay, so let's start with these guys. We'll start with this one right here. I'm going to come in on the side, and again, I'm coming in right next to him, right where the edge of him hits that foam. And for these, I'm going to kind of bend this a little bit. We're going to come in on an angle like this. Okay, so we're not coming straight up and down. We are going at an angle, right like this. And just push it as far as you can, and it kind of spills out on its own. So we'll do this with this one. You can get the same effect with this. I'm going to turn it around because I'm working on the bow side, which is a little more difficult. So on the bow side, we're going to bring this little pick in, come right down there, push, push, push. Now, it's harder to get it down as far with the wood pick. So I'm going to show you what you're going to do. So I've pushed that down as far as I can, right like that. And you can still see a little of the pick there. Don't freak out, don't do it. What you're going to do is you're going to take that moss and you're going to pull it up. And what you can do is either try to snag it, which I just did. Just pull it up and snag it, like you're doing the cobwebs at Halloween. Yeah, that's it. It's the same kind of effect. And look at how I just cover the pick. I just snag it up on the pick. You can do it. We got more things to put in front of it anyway, so I don't stress over it. Okay, so there's our first two. Look how easy this is going to come together. Such an easy design. That's why I said if you're a beginner and you want to try your hand, this is a good, really, really good kit to do that. Okay, so these we're going to put bends on, just like the bead fern. See? Aww. That's what you want. And make that sound when you do it. Just kidding. Okay, so we're going to come in right here, and I'm going to move that bead fern over just a tad bit. But this is going to come down in front, right next to that bead fern, okay? And right next to the bunny, so it looks like that. But see how you put that bend on it, and then it drapes more severely out. This one's a little further up, but this one really comes down in front, which is what you want. Okay, then we're going to take one of these little guys, and we're going to go on the other side and do the same thing. Got that bend in there, it's draping down the front. This is snagging on my hands, but so now we have some of those florals on both sides. How easy is that, you guys? I mean, just so easy. So now we're not going to put any more in this in the front, but we're going to bring some into the back so that we make the back look a little bit better, right? Jennifer, howdy. Jordan, stop it. Donna, don't anybody answer Jordan. He's a scammer. It's what they do. They ask everybody and they try to get a conversation and get you to take them off here onto Messenger, and that's what they do. So don't answer Jordan. I can't get him off of here until I get off of here, but that's what he's doing. So, yeah, I don't know why they do that, but they do it. That's why he won't answer me when I talk to him. So anyway, Jordan, go away. Just saying. You guys, and if you're, you know, real new, or not real new, but you don't know about that, don't get people to, hey, send me a friend request. I've tried, but I can't get it. All that stuff is scam. Don't go off Facebook talking to people and stuff. They try to get your identity, all the things. So anyway, just trying to help. Okay, I'm going to bring one over here by the bow, right between the bow loops. I'll turn this around and show you in a second because we need some coming up by the bow a little bit. And some up, some down, but look at this. So here's the back. We put one here, one there, and see how I came right between the bow loop. There's bead grass and a piece of that wildflower coming out of the bow loop. Super good. Okay. Thanks, Debbie. Oh, good, Juanita. Thank you, thank you. Did it get him off of here? I think it did. Maybe. Awesome. And Jennifer's on. Howdy, Jennifer. Brenda. Hey, everybody. A lot of people on today. That's awesome. Okay, guys. So we've got that done. Look at how, I mean, you could throw a few Easter eggs in here and call it a day. But I want to add a little white on in it just to brighten it up. But you can see how with very little. So if we use just pieces of bead grass, we had 4, the bow, and 1 bundle of this, I mean, literally, you could just about be done. But you know me, I like to take it to the top. Go big or go home. That's my motto. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna do is our tulips. Love these Real Touch tulips. So you're gonna get 4 of them. Now, let me show you how we cut these down, because yeah, we cut everything down. So they have the built-in leaves on these. These are really good ones. But I need the leaves up further because I need this whole thing shorter. So let me show you what you do. Right where the leaves are, go about 1/4 inch above it on an angle. Do you see how I'm angled versus my cutters aren't straight? They're angled like that. Cut it at an angle, right? Now oh my gosh, I've cut my leaves. What do I do? I'm gonna lose my leaves. No, you're not. You're gonna use your stemming machine or a wooden pick. You're gonna push the leaves up. Do you see how I just pushed them up and I exposed more stem? So you're gonna push them up, hold it, and now I'm gonna cut that stem down because I don't need all that stem. I want these short. So, but now these are loose. So if you have your wooden picks, put your wooden pick at least 1/4 inch into those leaves and wrap it all the way down. And if you have a stemming machine, put a pick on it. So we're gonna put a pick on this, and it's gonna reattach those tulip leaves to the tulip right like that. So now I have a short one versus this, which is way too big to use in the design. But I like the color, they were good. So I'm like, those will work, those will work. And these are mini, these are tiny tulips, so we just needed them shorter. So I'm gonna do that a couple more times real quick here. I'm gonna push it up, trim that stem, put a pick on it, do it again, push that up, trim that stem, put a pick on it, and one more time. Cut it, push it up, trim the stem, put a pick on it. Do you see how much easier this is though than winding that, right? Guys, get yourself a machine. It's good times when you have a stemming machine. Okay, here we go. We got 4. The first 2 in front, yes, we are drooping them. You know how tulips droop? They're so pretty. So you want a very gradual droop, not a hard angle. No hard angles. So how do you do that? Start where your pick is and just barely start moving your hand down and drooping it. You'll get a nice graceful droop versus a hard angle, right like that. Okay, and then at the end, I do it a little bit more because I want my tulip to actually droop. So you just go all the way to the bottom. Look at that. Perfect little droop. And I'm going to do that twice for the first 2, the ones that are more in front. So we're drooping them, we're drooping them. Droop your tulips. So now we have 2 droopers. Bring our bunny. And oh, don't ever pick up your bunny by the bunny or the design, but I want to show you how well he glues. I'm not worried about it popping off. It's not going to. Look at that. There's a lot of weight here. So, ooh, I hit my iPad, but look at that. Not coming off. I love 3D printed bunnies. Just saying. They glue in so well and they're lightweight, so they don't give you more weight when you're shipping. All the things. Okay, so this guy I'm going to bring right down in front here. It's going right next to those pink drooping wildflowers, but a little bit, probably about a 1/2 inch to 1 inch out from the bunny so that they come down a little further, right like this. Right like that. So you get 1 on each side, right there. Now we're going to bring 2 further up. So these are going to need a little tiny bend, not a lot, just tiny bit. Okay, and one going each way. Well, you can do it the same way and just turn one around, right? Anyway, so these guys are going to come right up here in this area, straight down. We'll bend them a little bit so they're further up into the design. Bend that forward. Hopefully it shows. I may have to bend that down more and push them in like that. So we have 4 little tulips. Look at that. So cute. Easy, easy. Okay. Yeah, Karen, aren't they the best wildflower bush? You can get so much out of them. They're so good. Oh, Risa, you bought one. Yes. I can't promote them enough. I should work for Steel Picks. I'm just saying. It's like, I love them. Love them. Carol, I had to call my daughter in another state to see if she would get out of the bathtub and go to Hobby Lobby and get a machine. I love it. Get the one picking machine they had left in the store. I'll let you know if she actually does it. She better do it. It's almost Mother's Day. Come on. Come on. That's awesome. That's awesome. And then the picks, if they have them, they're normally $20 a box at Hobby. They're only $10. And I went and got 3 before they went clearance because I knew they were going clearance. They just hadn't at my store. And I just didn't want to take the chance because I will tell you, on Amazon, they're like, instead of 20 a box, they're like 38. They're expensive. So I'm going to find the wholesaler and get them. So anyway, let's see. Okay. And Reese, I'm so glad, Risa, that you bought that. So much fun. Okay, so we got all that in. Look at how that's looking so far. So now, let's get our poppies in. Poppies are fun. So we're going to cut these guys apart. You'll get probably 3 or 4 on your stem. We're going to use them all. So just cut them down. Cut them off the stem first, and then we'll adjust the length. But I like to first get them off. You'll probably have some leaves. So this is another way you can make it yours. You could cut each leaf off and put it in and add a little light to the front if you want. Kind of picks up the color of the can. So try that, and maybe we'll do it with this one. It'll be different from that, and you know, Bob will go, now the weight's different, Kathy, for me to ship. I'm like, I don't care. We were having fun. We were playing. Okay. So I'm going to take my first poppy and up toward the back. So there's 2 small and 2 that are bigger. So when we're working up in this area, use your bigger ones. Use your smallers for down in front. So this first one, these are going to come next to him. I need to cut a little bit off so that when I bring these in, they're next to him, but you can still see him. I don't want them towering up here. I don't want them, I would love to actually, but this is a shorter arrangement. This arrangement done is right below 20 inches. If you are a seller and you make them, standard 20 inches. So if you're going to sell them, because shipping when you get over 20 gets astronomical. So that's why we stay at this length. So I'm going to put one of these back here, and you can actually bend your little poppy forward. So when you go to put them in, put a little, I'm going to bend it sideways and then show you. Then when you run it front, you see more of the flower versus it pointing up toward the ceiling like this. So that's the difference. So we're going to do that. I'll cut this guy a little shorter, and this guy's going to come in front here just a little bit. And I'm going to put it at an angle so it doesn't cover our bunny's face, but it's still so cute. So there's 2 poppies, and then we have these little ones. So we're going to bring these into the front, and one's going to come to the front and one's going to trail out of the can a little bit. I'm sorry I have to keep turning it because this is hard to do backwards. So what we're going to do is bring this guy on the right. In fact, I'm going to cut him a little shorter. I'm talking, you need hardly any stem because you want it to be very close. Whoops. Didn't get that crimped on there good enough. You want it pretty close to the surface. You don't want to cover the bunny. So this one, I'm going to put a little bend on it and go sideways. So we're going to take this and go sideways into the foam. So let's do that. And bring it all the way down. When you get very close, especially if you're using a metal pick, use your needle nose to push it all the way in and hide that pick so that you don't shred your finger on it, because I've done that before. We don't want to do that. So see how close to the bottom that is? And then this guy, I'm going to bring this a little shorter. This guy is going to trail out over here. How do you do that? We take our stem with our pick on it, and you put a hard bend on it. But then what you're going to do, I don't want this facing the table. I want to still see that bloom. So at the very end, you put an S-curve on it and you bend it up. See how it's like an S-curve? So now it'll drape out of the can, but the bloom will come up so you can still see it. It's awesome. Little tip there. So this is going to come on this side. Again, I'm going to use my needle nose to push it all the way down so I don't shred my finger. So look at that. So it's coming out of the can, but you can still see the flower. So that's how you get that accomplished. Okay, so now if you want to do your leaves, let's leave this till the end. Let's get the other elements in so it'll look exactly like the prototype, and then we'll decide if we want to put those leaves in. Frenchie, hey, welcome in, girl. Kelly, hi. Okay, so now we're going to do, let's do these little roses. I just thought it'd be cute just to have some little garden roses in there. Look at those. These are awesome. They look like dried roses. They're so pretty. So the two with the buds, we'll try to get you two with the buds, two that are just like this with the roses. These are going to go in front. They don't need a lot of length either. I cut them just below the leaves. Just below the leaves. We're going to take these guys, and let me show you. We're going to take this one. We're going to put a hard bend on it again. So take it and bend it down. Why? It's going to go out of the can. It is. It's going out of the can. So this is going to come on the right. I'm going to push this pick in, though, closer to the bunny behind that one poppy so that it shortens it a little bit without losing the leaves. And yet it can still drape down. Right like this. Get my leaves situated. But I just like it when we have flowers draping out. It just looks more natural. Okay, and then this one is going to be a little further back on the other side, not draping out the can as much. But it's still going to drape a little bit. So I'm going to come behind the poppy and the tulip. I'm going to push this right on in, and it's going to kind of droop with the tulip, right like that, right there. Okay, then we have these two. We can go, just kidding. Get punchy in here. I'm in here all day by myself with no one to talk to. I'm so glad you guys are with me tonight. I'm just telling you. It's awesome. Okay. Yes, Juanita found some pretty dried roses, slightly pink from Home Goods. They have such good stems. If you guys have not checked Home Goods, oh my goodness, they are good. They have come a long way, I gotta say. Yes, and the leaves are a wonderful color contrast. I totally agree. Totally agree. Okay, let's get these picked up. AKA put picks on them again. So now we have these two. These are going to come back toward the sides. We still want them visible. I don't want a lot in the back. We're going to put a little bit. But, you know, I want them visible from the front, coming out the side a little bit. So we're going to just push those in. And you can kind of see them in the background a little bit. I'm coming right on top of the bow, right behind the bow, pushing this one in a little bit. So they just kind of hang out there like that. But you can kind of see them still from the front. Okay, now let's get in. Let me see, I think 1, 2, 3, 4. I had a fifth in the back, but we don't need that. Okay, so before I go any further, I'm going to cut these. So you can either keep your loops straight like this, cut them on an angle, but I'm going to dovetail them. What is dovetailing, you say? Take your ribbon. You're going to fold it in half so those binded edges are together. The wrong side is together. So it's like if you're putting a fold right up the middle. So if you can see this, those two binded edges, fold them together. Don't fold it all the way, just, put them together. Then you're going to come down where those edges meet here, and you're going to cut up at an angle. And you get that great little chevron look. So right up like that, then you end up with that, which I think is super cute, especially for this one. And then I'll do the same thing to the other side. Here we go. But you can cut them at an angle. And some people don't like this look, some people do. So make it yours. Decide what you like and go for it. So now you've got the little chevrons on your bow coming out. And then you can like put a little bend like that, or just make them come out and curve a little. So play with the ribbon. It's good ribbon. It'll do whatever you want it to, which is awesome. So there's the finished bow. Now we've got to take and cut apart this guy. Trust me, the next tutorial is a lot shorter. This was the longest one, so I'm glad we did it first. Okay, so look at all those pieces on this. We're going to cut them off. Just cut them off. These we're going to sprinkle around this whole design. So let me just cut it down, because I don't want to just put this in one area. Now these you probably wouldn't have to put picks in. This is a very strong wire that would definitely just go in. But I'm going to take a couple of the bigger pieces. You can stretch them out a little bit. Leave a little corkscrew in there though. I'm going to bring two together like this and put a pick on it. I'm going to pull off that bottom, put a pick on this, and I'm going to do that with two of them. So we'll do these two for the front. Just so I'm not putting them in separate. They can go in together and I can bend them. And then these other ones, like this, we will just put picks on and distribute them throughout the arrangement. I knew that was going to happen. Didn't crimp it enough. Sometimes when you're putting, these are really tiny wires. If you put them in, you may want to pull them out of the machine using your needle nose, because they pull out of that easily. This way you grab the pick to pull it out, and it comes out real easy like that. All right, let me get these going. Get all the prep done, then we just roll through and put them in. There we go. Okay. So now we have a lot of singles, two doubles. Two doubles are going to go into the front of this design, one on each side, and this is what I like to do. Because there's two, I can have one piece come up in here and the other piece come down below. So we put it to the right of that poppy, right up next to that little guy, the bunny, and I bring one piece up and one piece down. So that's why it's kind of nice to pick them together, because then you just go whoop, spread them, and they're done. So we'll do this on the other side, a little bit different on this one. We're going to come more sideways with it and more into that front area that has nothing going on. But you can make it your own. Decide where you want it to live. Happy little willows. I love Bob Ross, by the way. He's so relaxing. Anybody else watch Bob Ross? You can see a lot on YouTube and whatnot, but when I'm old, but you could just watch Bob Ross and check out, because it's just relaxing, right? So I like to say happy little flowers. Okay, I'm just adjusting everything just a little bit so that we see it all. Okay, and that. So see how that just adds that white in the front and just brightens it up? Okay, so now we have all these little guys. So let's go ahead and put some in. I have this one big one. I'm going to put it in the bow, because why not? The bow needs some love, right? And then another one that's bigger. So I'm just going around the back. So I went side, side, and then I'll come into the middle with the two that don't have a lot of flowers. And this just adds a little bit to it. I'm going to take this out. I just pulled it out of there anyway. See if I can push this up. It's a little long. Oop, I just took it off. Darn it. So if you push it too much, this is what happens. It comes off. So we got to feed these back on now. I guess I had already shortened it quite a bit. We can do it a little bit more though. So the pushers will push all the way off. See, I'm full of don't do this. Don't let this be you. Right? It happens. Hey, it happens. Okay, let's get that back on there. Flower surgery going on right now. Or greenery surgery. Okay, got those threaded back in. Still got to cut them a little shorter because you can. And then I'll put them all back into a pick. Right like that. It was just too long. So let me get this right into the back again. Behind that bunny, it's a little wild and crazy, but I'll show you. And I'm going to put these picks. I know you can't see what I'm doing. I apologize. But it will be fine. Alright, so we have a couple pieces of that coming out. We have a little of this green coming out. So this is your back. So even though it's the back, it still looks decent, right? Okay, so that is the design. But do you guys want to put a few of these little flowers in? What do you think? There it is like that. But we can always cut these down and throw a few in. So vote yes on the leaves or no on the leaves. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, Anna says, first time watching, I'm enjoying every minute. The arrangement is beautiful. How did you fix your vase to be heavy enough so it won't tip over? I didn't get to watch the very beginning. So we installed foam, but the key to this is it's very stable. This isn't very skinny, number one. This is very light. The weight is in the flowers, but the way they hang over, it weighs it. It weighs it from up above. It sounds crazy, but look at this. Look how much drapes. The draping, actually, this is, look at, it's not tipping over. So this will be available on replay for 30 days on Facebook, and then I'll move it to my YouTube, and I show how I install the foam and everything. So, and also, if you didn't catch that, this is a kit. So these will be listed tonight. You'll get all the ingredients so you can create one yourself. So, but yeah, there's no chance of this tipping at all. So it just happens to be the right size can. It's just like perfect. Let's see. Oh, Karen, thank you. Okay, hopefully I didn't lose a lot of others. Let's see. Desiree said no. I don't know why. Let's see. How about placing them without picks to see what they look like? Yeah, we can do that. Let's do it. Oh, that's why Desiree said no. So you're saying don't put the green on. Short-term memory loss, guys. Like, why is she saying no? I just asked you a question. So Desiree says no. Hey Sal, happy Thursday. Welcome in. But let's try that. That's a great idea, Donna. So we can, you know, it's scraps. It's something that would either go in my scrap box, right? Or I can use it. I can use another design, but why don't we see how it will look in this? So when you get some, you cut them off. They have that ugly stem sticking up. You guys, act like you're pruning like a tree. Prune that off right where it meets the leaf without cutting the leaf off, and then it'll look like you have a little leaf stem. Look at this. Leaf stem has a stem. Is that cool? Okay, so do that to those. This one didn't have that though. These do. That's trash. I like to use every little bit. So again, this is ugly. We don't want that in the design. Cut it at an angle right where the leaf jets out. But you leave yourself a little stem to put it in. So if you've never done that before, that's a fun way to add leaves to your design. So, and these, you know, in the front, I don't know, let's place them in the front. These might be good to fill the back in too. So sometimes you end up with little areas that need something, need a little something, something. That's a good way to do it. But, oh, kind of liking the color, you guys, simply because it mimics the can. I try, when I do a can like this, and this kind of like the robin egg green or blue or whatever, I try not to find a flower that color. I want the arrangement to take on a life of its own and not be matchy-matchy with the container. I think it looks a little more elegant at times when you do that. But wait till you see this. This is kind of cool. Like one there. So I don't want them too perfectly placed. Maybe one out here a little more. So there's just a couple. Can you see them? Let me hold it up. Can you see them? I'm going to look in my iPad while you guys are looking. But see, it's almost a perfect match to the can. Do we like that little bit of green in there? A little bit of contrast. Or is it too much? So vote. Yes leaves or no leaves. What shall we do? Do we leave them or do we take them out? Juanita says, love it. We have the bunnies in your Etsy shop. We're finishing printing them for the kit, and then after that he can print. It takes 16 hours to print one bunny. So we have almost enough for the kits. The kits will have a delayed shipping of a few days while we print the rest of them. And these two finished designs, of course, will be listed. They can go out now. But after that, we're getting to the end of the bunny kits, and then we'll just start stocking up Etsy with bunnies. So Diane says, yes, the leaves. Hey, Diane, welcome in. Karen says yes. Nidra looks nice. Hey, Nidra. Donna says yes. Kathy says yes. Awesome. I like them too. I think they're perfect. I didn't even use them in there. I tossed them. So I'm going to have to dig them out and put them in. So let's do that. Let's look at, and we can put a little pick on these so they go in easy and do what they want. So let's just get these in really quick and see how they look. I think they'll be perfect. Also, another little hack when you're putting in leaves, don't always go in flat like this. Turn them a little bit on their side. Does that make sense? So not flat, turn them a little bit and they look a little more natural. Okay, let's get this guy over here. Ooh, I like it. I like it. Good call, you guys. Donna, good call. Use the leaves. Donna is my sister from another mister. I miss you, Donna. I can't believe after all those years of working together, we live so far apart now. But we would be in big trouble if we lived near each other now. Just as much trouble as before. Okay, and Donna paints like there. Oh my gosh, she paints like, oh my gosh, so beautiful. Okay, and one more here. Then we'll do the other one. Because I know someone's waiting for that other one. Ooh, I like it. It's a little more crowded in front, but I like it. What do you guys think? So that is our Thinker Bunny tutorial. Look at that, all the way around. So it is a one-sided arrangement, but at least the back looks good, right? Always make sure your back looks finished. It's a little bit more professional that way. Get a little drink here. Let's see. Yes, who asked that? Luis, yes, these aren't listed yet, but I'll be listing them tonight. Okay, so there's our first kit. Let's move on to the second. The second is a lot faster. It's a lot smaller. This is the biggest kit to date that I've ever done, but I had to do it. I found enough of these buckets. I'm like, we have to do a kit of that. Oh my gosh, so good. Okay, let me get rid of this foam, this ribbon, move these out of the way. Pile them over here in my mess. My studio is a wreck right now. Can you see all the, there's so much back here. Okay, we're gonna move these. throw away all my garbage here. And we will get on to the second one. Who's willing to hang out a little longer? We're already at almost an hour and a half, but luckily this next one is quick. We'll set that there. All right. Number 2. We're going to take our chocolate bunny. He's going right on top, same way. We're going to use our glue gun. So, I mean, this is a really good vase. I love how it's kind of scalloped on the top. So cute. So we're going to glue him, and he faces sideways, but his head is turned straight. Thank you for the hearts, you guys. And we're just going to take this. We're going to glue him up. Again, be very, very generous with that glue. And we're just going to stick him right on top there. Center him best you can. You want to leave space in the back as well as the front for all those stems we're going to put in. Yeah. So I've seen some people who have called me in a panic because they pushed the attachment all the way to the back and now there's nowhere to put stems. So make sure you center him. See how there's foam all the way around him? That's what you want. Thank you guys. These wire cutters are also, I hate doing this. I hate being in the infomercial. They're in my Amazon. That's where I got them. So these are Knipex. Knipex. I know it's backwards, but you can see it. They're in my Amazon storefront. They're expensive, but I have arthritis in my hands. They have the spring that makes it super easy to use. Super easy. I highly recommend them. I went forever before I finally bought a pair of these, and I'm like, what was I thinking? So if your hands hurt you, yeah. Amy, hi, welcome in. Yeah, this face in Chocolate Bunny is like, oh my goodness. Okay, alrighty, here we go. He looks pretty good. So again, if you got this kit, and again, there's one left, it'll be gone. So if you want one of these, you better get over to my Etsy and get it. I'll put a link to my Etsy too when I'm done. So we're going to take a little bit of this foam, a few of the moss pins, they come in the kit. This one comes with the spray foam already done for you, so you don't have to practice and crack your vase. You need to, this is what I mentioned inside the barn, my private coaching group. When you're first starting to use spray foam, I want you to go to garage sales, I want you to go to Goodwill, thrift shops, and pick up glass containers that you can get for 50 cents or $1. And then I know spray foam can be expensive, but you can practice doing the layers like I talked about without breaking your vase. That's actually your project vase. It takes a little bit of patience and a little bit of practice to know how much you can put in without it going, because it'll actually break ceramic. So I've already done it for you, so you don't have to figure it out. So you'll get it already foamed, and you just have to put your bunny on. So let's go ahead and take this all the way around. Start, and my hands are dry, so this sticks to it, but I love the foam. Okay, so I'm just gonna put a few moss pins in to hold it, and this goes a long way. You just stretch it around and push it down. Just keep going. And prep with this moss is so easy. I can't say it enough. I love it. Love it. Okay. Okay, there we go. Ta-da! He's ready to go. So let me show you what we're going to put in this one now. This is what you're going to get. You are going to get, let me cut this off. That would help. You're going to get this spray. Don't you love the little cottontails? I don't know if that's what they're called, but that's what they remind me of. You're going to get one of those. You're going to get 3 stems of these. These are butterfly ranunculus. You're going to get a bush of fern. And this is the ribbon we used. Along with the ribbon, you're going to get your zip tie and your wire to tie it together. Okay, So let's do that first. We're going to put our bow in and let our bow claim its space. And see, only three ingredients really. So this one goes pretty quick. So you're going to take your ribbon, and I always give you a little extra. This one, our little bow loop, is about 8 inches. So you're going to pinch. Move him out of the way before I knock him. You're going to pinch. Do your little loop. Your little loop when you're done, I think, is about 5 inches. So you're going to come out 10, wrong sides together 5. So the actual loop is 5 inches long. Twist it, bring right side back up again, but this really doesn't have a right or wrong, but I just do it because I'm used to it. Wrong sides back into the middle again. Hold up your bow, make sure your bunny ears match. And that's it. And then we twist this again. And then this is our other tail. Okay, put that aside. So here's our little bow. Super simple. We're gonna, again, your zip tie goes over the top, flat side of the zip tie facing down. Bring it around the back. Zip it, but not all the way. Don't do the death zip, don't do it. Leave a little space, because you have to get your little piece of wire through the bottom. So here's the back side. You're going to put it underneath the zip tie and hold it, and then zip tie it all the way down. So we zip it tight as you can get it, and then cut the excess off. So now, this is what you end up with. The bow for your design. In the back you can see the zip tie, and there's your wire. This wire is going to help you get it into the design. So you're going to twist it like a bread tie. Your first twist has to be as close to that zip tie and ribbon as you can get it. So I usually almost push it flat like this, like that, and then just twist it up. Easy peasy. The wire is pretty stiff too, so here we go. First little twist, I'm going to use my needle nose, because my hands are getting tired, and we'll get it going. I can hear Bobby's in her office talking loud. I'm like, shh. Okay, so now it'll look like this. So you've twisted it like a bread tie. It comes out from underneath the zip tie. Now this is how you put it in there. This is very strong. Add a little glue, push it in. I'm going to put it on a pick because I have the picking machine. Oops. Buddy, move over. So I just put a pick on it like that. Now I have a metal pick that'll go right down into this design. So I don't do a lot of shaping at this point because we're going to be shifting and messing it up as we go. So if I'm facing this, it's going to go again on the left. I'll probably end up cutting these tails a little shorter, but it's going to go on the left, more vertical than horizontal. And what I mean by that, let me show you. Can you see how it's vertical versus horizontal like this? It's like this. And then those come out the side. And we'll trim these up once the design's done, but we have flowers that are going to come in between all of those. So now your bow's installed. Now you can start with this guy. Okay, so we're going to cut this apart. There are some pieces of this I just didn't use. You can use them in the back. But again, when you take a spray like this, just start separating it. Look at all the pieces. You see those individual stems. This has 7 of them, like that. So that's what we're going to cut off this main stem. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Just cut it down. Now we're going to lay it out. We have 1 of these, 2 of those. This is the part I don't like. I think there's a little bit in there, but not much. Then we have 2 of these wildflowers. there's the third of that flower. There's this one and this one. So by cutting it all down, you see what ingredients you have and place them exactly where you want them, because you're not going to want to take that whole spray and just shove it in behind the bunny. Make it interesting. So that's what we're going to do now. So we're going to start with these guys. And I will tell you, I'm going to cut the bottom piece off of it. Right above that lower piece of greenery, I'm cutting them off. Because it's just too much, and this looks very plasticky. I don't care for it. Put it in your scrap box. Sometimes you need a little filler, right? You need something to cover up a hole or whatever. That would be a good application for that. But for this, we're cutting these big pieces off. I'm putting them in my scrap box. Okay, so we have these three. So we are going to bring one up right here next to the ribbon, right behind it. Cut a little bit off. We're going to put a pick in this. Now these are pretty strong wires that you could probably just add a little glue and push them on in. So one is going to come right in here like this, right next to the bunny. Okay. The next one is also going to come next to the bunny on the other side. So he's going to have to be a little shorter. So we want him to stair step down a little bit. So this guy is coming over here, right in front of his feet. So split his 2 feet and push it in right next to the feet. I'm going to use my needle nose and get it all the way down as far as I can without hurting my hand. Right like that. So there's the first 2. Now these guys they have wire, but the wire doesn't bend, so they are going to stand straight up, and that's just fine. So those are the first 2 placements, and then the third one is going to come in front. So this one we're going to cut down like this. So I cut it off the stem, and then I'm going to put it back together like that. Did you see what I did there? Oops, I don't know what's coming off of here. A little bit of, I don't know. So cut it off the stem, it was up there. Then I'm going to bring it around and put it back together so that I have this hard stem to work with. This one, you'll have to add a pick to. So whether you're using the little copper wire with the wood or using your machine, put a pick on it, because this one needs to be shorter, okay? So this guy is going to come over in front of the bow, right like that. So there's your first 3 flowers in there. And they match so well with the ribbon. So that's your first 3. Okay, so next we're going to work with the wildflowers. Where are they? Here they are. And these guys I'm actually going to cut into 2 pieces, because look at, they split. This is too big. I don't want to put them in the back and hide them behind the bunny. So let's use them where we want them, and let's split it right there. And you'll end up with 2 stems. So right where this one branches off, we're going to cut it right there at an angle. So now this one little piece becomes 2. And we'll do this again with this one. And cut that off. So now for 2 little sprays, we have 4 little sprays, but we can now put them exactly where we want them and cut them shorter. Okay, so we're going to take one of these. I'm going to shorten it even more, almost right up to the leaves, and put a pick in it. Okay, so this little guy is going to come right next to, you know where this ugly piece of plastic is? And we're going to come at an angle right down in front. And it's almost going to give the illusion that this is the leaves to this guy, even though it's not. Okay, I'm going to take this one, cut it down also. So we're just distributing these. Should have used my needle nose on that. Okay, this guy right next to that lower little flower, and have it come out next to the bow, right like that. So we're just sprinkling them where we need them. Let me see if I can just bend this up. Make it a little thicker. Ooh, almost caught my hand. And these two, I'm going to do that. I'm going to just take this, bend it up, and put a pick on that. So I shortened them up. So we get a lot of bulk out of them, which is nice. I want one coming right here. So you can see when you look at this, it's really see-through here. I want to make that a little more solid. This has a lot of leaves. It's perfect for that. So I'm going to bring it right behind the bunny feet and down. And if we bring it down, you'll still see a little bit of these flowers kind of shimmering through. So that's a good look. And then this one, I'll do the same thing. I'll come over in here and it'll kind of peek through this guy here. And I gotta put that at a little more of an angle forward so that it shows a little more. There we go. So you can kind of see him showing through. There it is in the back. Back looks good, right? There we go. Let me check your comments. I haven't checked in a while. Could you send us the link for your Amazon store? Yes, absolutely. Yeah, Deb, these wire cutters will save your hands, I'm telling you. Amy, if you're not in a group, try it out. I love a group and I've learned so much. Thank you, Amy, for the testimonial. I love that. And Frenchie's in the group too. And it's so nice to see the people that are inside the barn come on a live at Big Barn Blooms. It's awesome. So it is a great group of people. Okay, so you guys, now these are going to come right behind the bunny. Look how cute that is. So it's like perfect. I'm going to shorten them a little bit, and we're going to take this bottom guy off, because I think what I want to do, I don't think I did this on the prototype, but I think I want a little bunny tail in the front as well as the back. So I'm going to shorten this just a bit, put a pick on it, and let's bring this right in back of him, and you'll kind of see it hang over his head a little bit, which is so cute. It has a little bit of plastic on it. Let me cut that. So we get those little bunny tails right there behind him. And then this one, I thought it'd be cute to have one in front. Let's see if I can shorten it enough. I may have to cut it off. So because this doesn't have wire that's bendable, it has a lot of movement, what I like, but you can't bend this at all. See, it just flies back up. Cut it off the stem. So I want it about that short. Again, take this now, which has a hard, stiff wire, and shorten it. So make a little tiny one we can put in front. So if you get a spray with picks and everything's too big for your design, cut it down. Bring it down to the size you need. It's easy to do. Okay, so we're going to push this right in front of them because I think, yeah, how cute. Look at that, bringing one in front. Super, super good. Okay, so next, let's split this guy up. Again, there's 3 pieces. Everything has several pieces on it, so it's really good. So we're going to just cut these off. I'm not going to use this. It's going in my scrap box. Thanks for the hearts, you guys. Juanita, don't they look like bunny tails? I totally think they do. I love them. Love them. Okay, I love that this has a little white, so it kind of brings a little white into the design. So we're going to just pick these up and put them in. And this one, I think I'm going to cut it shorter. So we can, again, get one in front, cut it off the stem, bring it around, add it back to the stem, like that. So shorten if you need to. You can do it. Okay, so I want to bring one of these in front here. Look how cute it kind of spills out of the base, right? So when you shorten it correctly like that, it just does the work for you, seriously. Okay, this is a taller one, so let's have this one at an angle right here by the wildflowers. Can I get it in there? Hold on, it's hard to see with these glasses. Maybe we'll come behind it there, that's better. Right like that, so there's just one hanging out right there. And this one I'm going to bring up by the bow and have it kind of come out and over the bow a little bit. Right there, like that. So there's that element. Look at this, you guys. So easy, right? Easy peasy. Okay. Butterfly Ranunculus. These are good. Okay. So we need one that's going to drape out the front. And I think I want to just see which one drapes the best. Oh, kind of like this little double here. So let's try that. I'm going to cut it rather short. And this one is going to come right out the front here. So pretty. This really brightens it. You get that pure white coming back in that matches the jar. So this guy, we have all this space in here, and this is why I left that blank, so that we can get something like this that comes out the front of the jar. It is going to look so good. So we'll take this, push it down. I'm going to use my needle nose so I can get it all the way in there. If you push it in and you still see a little of your pick, again, pull the moss back. You can easily pull that moss back and then you'll see it. Okay, so there's one coming out the front, like that. Toss that. Then I need one up behind the bunny, up in here by this guy. So I'm checking the depth there. Cut it a little bit. And this guy is going to come right into here and nestle on in with this guy. So we kind of let them make room for each other. So it's peeking through like that. And then our third one is going to come out the other side. So this one is going to come over here. So we have kind of like a triangle working, which is what you want. So this one is going to come out over here on this side, nestled right in between all the other elements. It is thick on the right side of the bunny, but it's just fine. Look at the design. Look at that. So we have a little triangle of the white going on, which is what you want. You've got the bow bulking up this side, so we need a little more flowers bulking up the other side. But wait, there's more. So now to bring it all together, we have a lot of blooms that are touching and they're not super separate, right? They're all right up against each other. So this is where our green comes in. The green will help separate things from each other and make everything pop. You need that element of green to come back in at the very end. So we're going to cut this down. Doesn't it, Juanita? I love these. These white ranunculars are amazing. Thanks, Kathy. I'm glad you love it. Oh, Brenda, you watched me in Ashley's Summit. Yes, I do use a wreath stand, and I'll put a link. I got it on Etsy. I actually got it on Etsy. I love my wreath stand. Inside the barn, I tend to do more wreaths on a pre-record because I have fancy cameras in here. So I have an overhead camera. It's a Sony. It's wonderful. And I can switch views during the tutorial and show you different angles. So when I pre-record, I don't use it because I can show you my view right overhead. So, but on lives, like if we're doing a public live or a live inside the barn, I use my phone. So then I use that stand, and it is an amazing stand. I love it. I love it. So, and if you bought your the ticket in the summit where you got the all access, I do a wreath, I believe, was my bonus material, and I use my fancy cameras. So you can see my intro and my outro and all the camera angles. So it's kind of nice. Okay, we are literally going to cut all of these off of here. So this is where you will need picks again. So we're just going to cut them all the way down to the bottom, like that. Okay, and then let's maybe cut these off of here. Takes just a few seconds, and then yeah, we're going to marry them back up and make our own little picks. This is the last element of this. Thanks for hanging in there with me. This was a double. I don't usually do doubles, but I went, we got to catch up because the kids have been blowing out the door, and I'm like, people need their tutorial. So here we are. Okay, I got more kits for Mother's Day coming up too. I'm excited about it. Can't wait to share with you guys. Okay, so let's separate this moss or this fern. So we have like a sword fern in a dark. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you do this, put them in piles by what type of fern they are, so you can make your little picks and not have all of the sword on one side. You know what I'm saying? Or all of the dark green versus a light green. So we get only 2 light green. So we have to make sure we get a light green on each side. So there's 2 of those. And then there's this Real Touch. They're all Real Touch, but the real soft fern. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those, just like the sword. And again, only 2 of the lime. And there's little pieces. You put those aside. Sometimes it's nice to put some little pieces at the very end. Okay, let's make up some sprays. So I like to kind of start where my first 2 are going to go, which is the front. I want to make sure I get those, and you know. So I want to take one of these, a light sword. See how they pop together? And then a dark sword fern. So this is going to be one of my first little sprays I make up. And we'll pick those together. Again, if you have your wooden picks, you can take a few of these little pieces off at the bottom to make it easier to wind that wire. Okay, so there's one. Let's do that same one again. Dark, light, and a dark. Right like that. Stick it together. Okay, now I'm going to go for the light ones. Light, dark, and a dark in the back. So we have a piece of sword and 2 pieces of the other soft fern. Like that. So for one of these little bushes, this is a small fern bush, you can make up a lot of little tiny sprays. Okay, so again, sword, a light one, and a dark one. And this is what we're left. That will probably go toward the back. 2 dark pieces. It's not like KFC, you can't pay for all white meat. I'm sorry, you can't do it. This is what you get. Anyway, okay, here we go. Let's add the fern. Okay, so we're going to start with those 2 that we made in the very beginning, which have a little bit of everything in them. Where are they? Okay, these 2, dark and light. So we're going to come to the right side. I'm going to actually come behind the ranunculus, the butterfly ones, the white ones, just so they pop a little more. And we're going to bend this down a little bit so it spills. Come right in between there, right up next to the bunny, by the way. You're back up next to the bunny. And then you can kind of flare them out a little bit like that. So you get a lot of coverage for these little tiny sprays we're making. So now I'm going to come over to the other side. This one I'm actually going to come behind the little flowers in the middle of the bow. So it's coming out the bow. It's a good look. So we end up with this little piece here. And then we just keep working our way down. So we have these 2. I'm going to bring one out the front. There we go, and then we kind of split them up. So once you put them in, just pull them apart like this so that they distribute throughout the design. You know, they go high, they go low, and you get a little more bang for your buck out of them. Like that. And let me put this one in, and then I will show you where we're at. So I'm putting 2 of these in front. Just to get that coverage. And you got to weave your flowers around them because, you know, we have a lot in front, right? So when you put your fern in, then you need to come back through and pull some of those flowers forward. Oop, I just had one fall off. Okay, I'm gonna pull that one back out. That one's too big. We're gonna use the smaller piece. Hold on. Where was this guy? Oh, there it is. Sometimes they fall off the stem. We just put them right back on. Here we go. Okay, I'm gonna use a single because that big one's a little bit too big for right there. Okay, there we go. A little bit, but nope. So sometimes you put them in, you're like, you know what? It's too long, right? So I'm gonna cut it down even more. I don't need a big, huge piece hanging out the front. So we want it a little shorter, so just cut it on down and push it back in. There we go. That's better. So there's our front. So piece here, piece here, piece there, piece there. 4. One left, that goes in the back. And that will complete it. It's amazing. It doesn't take that much. So I'm making sure that all my picks aren't showing. And this one we're going to bring right into the back. And it kind of covers all the stuff and the mechanics in the back and makes it look a little more finished. Right like that. Now you can go around the rim, and if any of your moss is hanging out, because it tends to want to hang out with this artificial, just cut it. Let's see the back, one piece in back, all the way around. There's your bunny design. And now let's cut these a little bit. These I'm just going to cut at an angle. This is a 1.5 inch ribbon, so to get that chevron on it, you can, but I just assume cut it just a little bit shorter on an angle, and I think it looks just as cute. And put a pretty good angle on them. And then have those just hang down there. All right, guys. What do you think of our bunny? So this was our bunny kit, chocolate bunny kit. Look at that. So out of those 3 little bundles of flowers, you can make the whole arrangement. Look at that. You got your bow, all the way around the back looks good. Who got their kits? I know a bunch of you on here got your kits. There's 1 kit left, so I'll put the link to my Etsy. And the bunny kits will be in later tonight. I gotta sit down and list them. We'll also have this completed design available. I'll go ahead and list that. And then 2 of the bunny buckets completed. They'll be a little bit higher in cost because it's a bigger shipping box. That's really the only difference between them. So let's see. Dana, hi. And Kathy's like, it needs greenery, right? You know me, Kathy, you know me. Elaine, thank you. Thanks, Kathy. Kathy loves this design. Nice. All right, Donna can't wait to do, I can't wait. Donna, that was so cute. So Donna sent me a picture of all her little bunnies lined up, ready to go. So that's awesome. Okay, so we have this one. And we did this one. So this kit will hit, I believe there's only 4 that are going to be available. This guy, 1 left. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Any other questions? And again, make sure you hit follow so you don't miss me. You know, I tend to put it out and hit top fans and whatnot to let you know, hey, these hit. They're in my Etsy. I always put the link in comments, even though I just say check comments for more info because we don't want Facebook to hold us back. But hit that follow button. Make sure that you are subscribed to my YouTube, which is completely free. And if you want to learn more in depth, come on inside the barn. That's my coaching group. It's open. It is a subscription group. It's $35 a month. You get anywhere from 12 to 14 tutorials a month. And we shop. So I take you shopping and show you what I'm buying and what's coming up. So you get my sources, you get to go shopping with me, and we have Q&As, all the things. So there's a little biz and a whole lot of florals. So join me. I can put the link into that too in case you want to join us. And by the way, you can join for 1 month, get in there, look around, join us a little bit. And if you think it's not for me, you can quit anytime after the first month. So you are not stuck in it. We would never lock those barn doors and say, you're not getting out. Who do you think you are? No, we don't do that. You can leave anytime you want. You can leave, you can come back. We have a lot of people that do that seasonally. So I hope you can join us inside the barn. It's a good group. We have a lot of fun. So I'm Kathy with Big Barn Blooms, taking the fear out of bunny arrangements today in kits. So these are your kit tutorials. Again, they'll be available 30 days here on Facebook, and then I'm going to move them over to my YouTube. I will put my link to my YouTube, my Etsy, Inside the Barn, all of them when I'm off of here. And then watch for my posts. Make sure you're following me because I'll let you know when these have dropped later tonight. All right? Sal, thank you, thank you, thank you. Juanita, you're so welcome. Sal's like, once you go inside the barn, you'll never go back. You'll never want to leave. And I hope that's true. I hope that's true. I try to make it fun for you guys. So, all right, I'm going to get off of here, and I'm going to go live tomorrow. We did a similar one, but we didn't do actually this one. I do have a few of these available too. Look at this little guy in the gold bowl. So this is the smallest 3D printed bunny we did in chocolate. And look at that with all those awesome flowers. So I'm going to pop on tomorrow. I'm not sure what time yet. I got to check the schedule because we are live inside the barn tomorrow. So make sure you join tonight so you can join us tomorrow. We're live at 3 p.m. tomorrow inside the barn. So we may do an earlier one for this guy. So watch out for this. This kit is already listed and available. So you guys, I'm Kathy again with Big Barn Blooms, taking the fear out of kits tonight. And we'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much for joining me, you guys. It was good seeing you and visiting with y'all. And we'll see you in the next one. All right, bye now.